If you struggle with your weight, I am willing to bet that at some point you have looked for some type of fat loss supplement that helps with your hunger, so you are not so hungry. There are many supplements on the market that claim to suppress your appetite, but the thing is, none of them actually work. So initial studies that were done on animals showed some promising evidence that they might work, but then when the studies were done on humans, it showed that it doesn't do anything. So rather than wasting your money on expensive supplements that are not going to help your fat loss at all, I'm going to show you some things that you can take that will suppress your appetite so you can keep your stomach full while also keeping your wallet full. Yeah. Okay. So the first one is fiber. So fiber is going to fill you up for a longer amount of time because it fills up your stomach. So if you're having vegetables, you can choose ones that are higher in fiber and they're going to fill you up for longer than, say, vegetables that aren't as high in fiber and more water-based. Obviously, you can still have any type of vegetable, but if you're specifically trying to make yourself feel full for longer, try to pick vegetables that are higher in fiber. So that could be broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, asparagus, cabbage, kale. Higher water veggies are things like cucumber, tomato, lettuce, kind of like the lighter kind of vegetables. So you could even mix them together. So you're having the higher water content vegetables and the higher fiber, and bam, you're gonna feel fuller. So aside from that, you can also take fiber supplements. So you can have Metamucil in a shake. It's not as exciting. It's kind of just bland. You want to drink it right away because apparently if you put it in water and let it sit, it kind of goes into a gel and then it's just not going to do its job. So you want to put it in the water, drink it, and that's going to fill you up. You can also get fiber gummies. So this is what I did recently because when I read about this, I was like, okay, I'm going to get some fiber. And I looked at the Metamucil and I was like, that looks not so fun. So I got the gummies and they are delicious. Just note, do not eat them like they're candy because you're gonna have a lot of stomach pain, because I ate about 10 to 12, and then a couple hours later, I had just like a normal sized meal, and then I felt ridiculously full. Like I couldn't breathe, I couldn't lie on my side. So I mean, technically it did help keep me full, but it was too much. So don't go too much over the recommended dose. Mine says 4 a day, like two at one point in the day and then 2 later on. I can take a little bit more than 2 at once, but be careful. Like try just start with the recommended dose, see how you feel, and then take more. So that's also kind of nice because you get like little gummy candies, and it's like if you're craving candy, you can have a fiber gummy. So then you get a candy that has fiber and fills you up. So definitely make sure you're eating foods that are high in fiber. Eat your veggies. Even if you do not like them, eat your veggies because it's going to fill you up and help you with your fat loss goals. So there's some other supplements that can help with appetite suppression as well. A lot of these they haven't really been researched very much yet, so it's not for sure, but they might help a little bit with your hunger. So ginger is one of them. I sometimes will put ginger powder in my tea. You can also put like actual pieces of ginger. 5-HTP is also supposedly can help with your hunger as well. I've never taken that. If you're on medications, look into that. Don't just buy it, because I know for certain types of medications, if you're mixing it with that, you're not supposed to. So don't just buy it. Look into it. And then the other one is, I don't know how to say it, Caralluma fimbriata. So basically, it is another one. You can find it on Amazon, and the reviews, people are really saying it helps with their hunger and appetite suppression. The studies have only been done on like 2-month periods, so you don't really know what the long-term effects of it are. So use at your own risk, but apparently, according to people on Amazon, it works. So yeah. Those are some. I'll put them below so you can like see what they are because I don't know if I said it right. So yeah, those may help. Ginger's a pretty good, easy one because it's ginger. It has other benefits. It can like help with digestion. So ginger's like a pretty safe little go-to. Another thing that can help suppress your appetite is caffeine. So if you drink a lot of caffeine, like me, it's not going to diminish your hunger as much because your tolerance is built up. But if you're someone who doesn't drink much caffeine, if you have a coffee, that can actually help with your hunger. Now, even for somebody that does drink coffee on a daily basis, if you try a pre-workout or even like a Monster, an energy drink, you might find that the different type of caffeine or the extra caffeine does suppress your appetite. You don't want to go crazy with it because then your caffeine tolerance is just gonna go high and then it's not gonna suppress your hunger anymore. But stimulants in general can reduce your hunger. So you can take them, but take it sparingly so you're not ruining your sleep, because that is another thing. We will touch on that later in the video because that is another tip. So I have found that honestly, just a nice little caffeinated beverage, if I'm having a craving, can kind of help. Even if it's like not getting rid of my hunger, if you're craving something sweet, say a pre-workout that has a really nice flavor, or the 0-calorie Monster, or some kind of nice low-calorie coffee, that can just help hold you over a little bit. Because again, if you're in between meals and you're just like, oh, I'm craving something, I want something sweet, you can have one of these drinks and it can kind of satisfy your craving a little bit, especially the Monsters because they're carbonated. That can just make you feel temporarily fuller. So yeah, caffeine, pre-workout, Monster, coffee, have them if you want, and you might feel less hungry. And if not, at least you'll feel more energetic and then you might burn more calories. So, okay, so next thing is not something that you necessarily take, but it's managing your stress and making sure you're sleeping enough, because often when you're stressed, that leads to emotional eating. So if you're taking fiber supplements, but you're eating because you're just stressed, obviously it doesn't matter how full you are, because typically if you're eating because of your emotions, it's not because of hunger. So you want to find ways to manage your stress. So there's not really a one-size-fits-all solution, but maintaining healthy sleep habits and obviously keeping up with your nutrition and your workouts can help with stress. So try to keep your sleep schedule as consistent as you can, and a dark room that's quiet is going to help your quality of sleep. So if you don't have that, wear earplugs and a sleep mask. This is something I do quite often, and it really helps. It helps so much because you can just sleep through noise. If there's light in the room, it's still dark, and it just helps your quality of sleep. You can also get some sleep type supplements like valerian root, melatonin. I have a sleep, like a vitamin kind of thing. I have a sleep supplement that I have found helpful as well. I'll put it down below. I forget what it is. It has valerian root and melatonin in it, and it works quite well. There are some herbal supplements that can also help reduce stress. So while these won't directly help with reducing your hunger, if it's helping with your stress, it can help with your hunger. So ashwagandha is supposed to be a good stress reliever. CBD can also help with stress. I would say THC, you can use that as well, but that's going to make you hungrier. So if you are going to use that, use it just right before bed to help you sleep. That's what I've done. It's been helped wonders, except for when it does make you hungry. But using those things, just little things like that to help you fall asleep, and because when you're low on sleep, like I've mentioned, it makes you so much hungrier. I know when I'm exhausted, I have a harder time sticking to my calories and I have more cravings because you're so tired and you just want more food. And those are all the tips I have for today. Also, if you're feeling really hungry all the time, there's a chance you might be under eating. if you don't need to be in a huge caloric deficit, because extreme approaches result in extreme disappointment. So if you're constantly hungry, you may want to rethink the amount of calories you're eating. Try and take your fat loss a little bit slower. A little bit of hunger when your meal's getting closer is normal, but if you're starving all day, there's a chance you should probably eat a little bit more, and don't try and go for your fat loss goals so aggressively, because it's not going to be sustainable. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!